Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
Let's hang out. Let's hang out. And let's talk about what Lez is about. Let's hang out. And let's listen to two lesbians shout. Let's hang out. Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Lez Hang Out. I'm Ellie Bridget.
And I'm Leigh Holmes Foster, and here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This week in the Lesdom is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on with the podcast or otherwise. In season 7, we have continued to put out our Patreon bonus episodes, and our final season 7 Patreon bonus episode is on Tu Wong Fu. We had a blast talking about this crazy blast from the past. Drag queens, Patrick Swayze,
John Leguizamo,
Wesley Snipes. It is a delightful film. So if you want to hear our thoughts on it, you can join us at bit.ly/lespatreon.
And if you haven't joined our Patreon or gotten access to any of our Less Regular episodes yet, now is a great time to do it because this is our season 7 finale, our last episode of the season. So if you're looking for some more Let's Hang Out to fill up those lonely few weeks that will be on hiatus over the summer, you can get access to all 22 of those episodes at our Patreon at bit.ly/lespatreon.
We are also doing our second release of Journey to the Heart, which is out everywhere you listen to your podcast. We have the first 3 episodes out, and episode 3 is where it really changes the whole storyline. So 3, 4, 5, and 6 are going to be completely different from the episodes you heard in the first track. So if you want to listen to those now, they're up anywhere you listen to your podcast.
In the Greater Lez universe, Orphan Black Echoes, which is the reboot sort of sequel of Orphan Black that is following Kira as an adult played by Kristen Ritter, already sounds gay from the get-go. And I see this note, Ellie, that says it's gayer than the original.
That's what people are saying online.
Is that even possible?
I know. The first episode actually just came out on Monday, so we got to check it out. And if it is gayer than the original, like, I'm so pumped for it.
Plus, it looks like Delphine is back, which, like, I'm already sold.
Oh my god, thank God. Thank
it
God.
takes so
Also-
little
also-
to sell us on this.
Kristen Ritter does not play Kira, but she is one of the main characters.
Oh, she doesn't play. Who does she
Kira is
play?
played by Keely Hawks. Kristen Ritter's character is named
Oh, okay.
Lucy. I have not watched the first episode yet. I will definitely be watching it.
I would like you to know that the Google result does say an adult Kira played by Kristen Ritter. So, Google's wrong, not me, everyone. Okay, blame the
Google's
internet.
wrong. Yes. Also in the Greater Les universe, Meryl Streep's daughter just came out as a lesbian, which, like, great. We're always happy to add more to the fold. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, and we're adding a bunch because apparently also Stacey London of What Not to Wear just came out recently. It's like a big week. Listen, it's Pride Month, y'all.
Yes. Did you watch What Not to Wear?
I didn't.
This woman, you've seen her. You might have seen her, but I don't know. She has like one big silver streak in her hair. That was like her whole thing.
Yeah.
I feel like this makes so much sense because I vividly remember watching that show and being like, huh, Stacey.
Interesting.
So that was really giving me a little, baby gay affirmation. I was like, that tracks.
And she's been with her girlfriend for over 6 years. Love that for them.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
We love a good come out. Happy end of Pride, everyone.
What a good month. Good for us. That's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Leigh.
Thanks, Ellie and Leigh, and welcome to our 129th installment of Shoulda Been Gay.
Oh, it was fun, it was great, but it should have been a little more gay.
And in this week's episode, we're not crazy. We've just been in a very bad mood for 40 years.
Sounds right. From being
Sounds about right.
from being trapped in the closet.
Ah,
That'll really get you
yeah.
grumpy, Weezer.
It just makes you a little cranky.
Yep.
You know? That's
Yep.
fine.
Sometimes you're just the town lesbian.
We have a very special guest. We are joined by a Brooklyn-based comedian, Ali Clayton, who is a Southern dyslexic pageant kid who became a lesbian comedian, actor, and writer, and is also the co-host of the podcast Y'all Gay. Ali, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, y'all. Can't wait to talk Steel Magnolias.
I'm also very excited that we have someone with a Southern accent.
Should we just do Southern accents and put them on for the whole episode, Ellie?
I think it would be quite offensive towards Ali.
It would be. It'd be terrible.
I'll try to hold that in, but I was definitely doing that earlier
today. You say that now as though you don't do a British accent.
I know. I try to do accents. This is the only one I can nail.
I was also loving the different kinds of accents because you have Dolly Parton who you can't. It's just her. She's not putting on an accent, and then you have Julia Roberts who's I'm gonna keep it sort of simple and Southern, and you can't quite tell I'm Southern. It's super simple. I love an accent.
I was gonna say Ellie breaks out an accent at every possible opportunity, no matter how bad they are, and yet the Southern is what you're we might offend people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My favorite
all of the accents.
My favorite Southern accent to do is The Notebook. Mama, I love him.
Oh, the real Southern belly one.
Yeah, the bell. The Southern bell is quite fun to do. But we won't. That's enough. That's all I'm doing for today. Let's dive in.
You say.
Yeah, until we get really into the weeds.
Dive in to this throwback classic. Oh my gosh. Ellie, is this movie older than you? When did this come out?
Oh, God.
It's in the 80s, right? Was it in the 80s?
89.
1989.
It is older than me. You are
older
correct.
than Ellie. The classic, the one, the only, Steel Magnolias. Now, listen, I'm going to start us off, as per usual, with our IMDb synopsis. I feel like I need to preface this with this is possibly the most confusing synopsis I've ever seen for a movie. The IMDb synopsis for Steel Magnolias is as follows. A young beautician, newly arrived in a small Louisiana town, finds work at the local salon where a small group of women share a close bond of friendship and welcome her into the fold.
I mean, it's
yeah.
Yeah.
I have questions.
I will say,
that
does not properly prepare you for the devastation that is this film.
Also, Annelle's not the lead character.
Yeah, exactly. She's probably the least important character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this synopsis is written by someone who saw only the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yes.
That's so true. That is so true. Because you're
they're it's funny. I watched Daryl Hannah just walk through this whole town. It must be about her. Okay, done. Check.
Not about her.
No, not about her.
That has nothing to do with her.
No.
We could do better. We can improve. Do you have, Ellie, a gay synopsis?
I really
for the film Steel Magnolias?
Here we go. This is what I watched. 2 late-in-life lesbians witness the lives and death, R.I.P., of their straight friends through trips to their favorite bisexual's hair salon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
That's all I saw.
Good,
that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, I love how I say straight friends
R.I.P.
when most of the people, actually majority of these women are queer. But there
I
were a
like
few
the
straight
brief,
ones.
R.I.P. quick prayer, moment of silence. Moving on.
Yes. Sorry, can't focus on it right now.
I'm curious. You're saying 2 late-in-life lesbians. So who else do you? I mean, Weezer's a dyke through and through.
I think that Weezer and Clary are in love.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw that so hard.
Second, so hard.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
we'll
dive in.
What would you submit, Allie, as your gay synopsis?
Well, obviously, I mean, I went through and just rated them all as far as their sexuality.
Great.
But if you had to give the elevator pitch,
the elevator pitch,
gay elevator pitch for this movie, what would it be?
Oh man, Weezer's a dyke. Truby's bi. I think Clary is just a really good best friend, but I think she's dick crazy. That's all I wrote next to her name, Dick Crazy.
Dick Crazy.
Weezer could strap it on. You don't know what they're doing.
I mean,
You don't know
maybe.
what they've got
So
going on.
true.
Maybe something from her garden. Maybe zucchini.
Yeah, get a nice cucumber.
You know?
Weezer is a witch dyke for sure, though.
Oh yeah.
Like she's the if we were in Salem, like she would have been hanged.
Weezer's getting into fucking tarot cards.
Yeah, like she was
yeah.
not lasting in another age.
Weezer would love a fucking voodoo doll. Like she'd
Exactly.
be so into hexing people. It's
Mhm.
not even funny. She'd be a force, man.
Yeah,
She'd
she's
be
like
a
the
force
shrew
to be-
next door.
Don't
Yeah.
let Weezer near the dark arts. That's what I think
That's so
should be
true.
the takeaway of this movie.
That is so true. I mean, it has to be why she's so angry. Being in the
Right?
closet, But they do mention at one point that like Clary mentions like there's this mysterious Mercedes that's parked in her. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I think that might be Weezer's
It's her
girlfriend.
girlfriend.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Weezer's girlfriend. Totally. Annelle, I think, is a femme bottom.
Mhm. She's a little
Yeah.
she got way too into church
Yes.
because she
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to be like,
Oh,
I have
yes,
to save
we're gonna,
myself.
We're gonna dive into that so hard, please.
No
Yeah.
sex before marriage.
Yeah.
Or
No.
like she's just like, yeah, no penetrative sex, but everything else is on the table.
Yeah.
The Mormon approach. The BYU approach to dating, Annelle.
Yeah.
What is that
Exactly.
called? Mushing? What's it called?
No,
That
no,
thing
yeah,
they do?
soaking.
like
soaking.
yeah,
Soaking,
it's like I was
soaking.
gonna say parking.
Yeah. a probably accurate
does
description
feel very
as well,
much like
right? Just stick
parking.
it in and leave it there, right?
Yeah.
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 Good.
Leigh, what about you? I'm sorry. Wait, did you say all the characters who are gay, Ali?
Yes. So we have, okay.
What
I
about
think
Shelby?
Bi-curious.
Good.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm.
The haircut
Bi-curious.
scene for sure.
Malin, straight. Weezer, dyke. Truvy, bi-curious. Or bi. Clary, dick crazy. Annelle, femme bottom. And Aunt Fern, pansexual. She will fuck
Oh, I
anybody.
forgot about Aunt Fern. Yeah,
Aunt
Fern.
Aunt Fern
I
is
love
pan.
it.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't want Aunt Fern erasure.
No.
Not here. Not
Leigh,
in this podcast.
what about you? What's your gay synopsis for this film?
Okay, my gay synopsis for Steel Magnolias, I believe, would have to be as follows. A bunch of Southern belles spend a whole movie showcasing for us that they think heterosexuality or men are better than death, but only barely. That's what I think
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
takeaway of the movie is.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of husband hate.
men-
There's so much
Men
husband
come
hating
in
in this.
ahead of dying young, but only by a slim margin.
Mhm.
That's Steel Magnolias. That
I think
watched.
that tracks, yeah. Allie, you're the one who recommended this. So what was your experience with Steel Magnolias? Is this like a classic you've always watched? Like when was the
Oh,
first time
yeah.
you saw it, you know?
Probably way too young. Like early 90s. I was born in 86 and it almost like it feels like home, like watching this movie. And it like kind of reminds me of like my granny, and my granny lived on a street with all her brothers and sisters, all lived on the same street, and they all built houses next to each other. And like just like the names that they have in Steel Magnolias, like the names of my granny sisters were Eula, Daphne, Lorray, Ruby, Betty, Evelyn.
Amazing.
Yeah,
And I'm
those are
like,
some southern names.
amazing.
Right? So southern. So it really makes me think about her a lot. The hair salon, like that is just so freaking spot on. My Uncle Cindy, well, she's my aunt, but I've always called her Uncle Cindy. I couldn't tell you why exactly,
Love it.
but Uncle Cindy had a hair salon.
We have some suggestions for why.
For why.
Yeah.
This is your Weezer aunt.
Yeah, sure. She
A little, I mean, like lover of NASCAR.
doesn't happen to have like a long-standing roommate that they've just lived together for like 30, 40 years or anything, does she?
No, she lives with my cousin who lives with her husband, 3 kids, a lot of dogs and cats, and then multiple children, friends of kids. It's a packed house.
She should
Love
get
it.
her a roommate. I think you should look into this. Anyways,
Yeah,
I love
but
that for Uncle
let's
Cindy.
talk
So
about Uncle
continue.
Cindy. Yes.
Oh yes, like oh my god, all that hair salon stuff. Like I remember hanging out in my Uncle Cindy's hair salon all the time as a kid. My Uncle Cindy let me start smoking at 13. Like that was fine for me to like go in the break room and have a cigarette with the other women.
Mhm.
Just being there and they're
Love
just
it.
talking shit about so and so. A lot of like hair roller setting, like ladies that
Sure,
would come in to get
sure.
their hair set.
The cigarette smoke helps with that. It really
Yes.
sets them in place, you know? Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that's so much cigarette smoke. So much cigarette smoke. And always like those cigarette smoke packs, like you put your pack of cigarettes in them, and then they have like this it's like a little leather pouch. You
Mhm.
can put your lighter and your cigarettes in there. I think Uncle Cindy got me one as a present once when I was like 14.
Here for that.
But it's also like so touching and so heartwarming, and it's so much about like just female friendships
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, kind of a fuck men. Poor Owen Jenkins, man.
Yeah.
Rough. All
Rough.
of them. Yeah, like
All of them.
Sally Field hates her husband, right? Like
Drum,
Weezer's
yeah.
like went through 2 of them, both sucked. Clary's like, she like seems like she did like her husband, but I don't think she's living her best life after he's dead.
Yeah.
Which is so fucked up, but true.
Clary has herpes. Like there's no way she doesn't.
Yeah, but
No offense if you have herpes. It's totally fine to have herpes.
but yeah, she has some sort of venereal disease. Let's
Yes,
be real.
there's for sure.
She's got it going on. Dead. Leigh, what was your experience with Steel Magnolias?
Similar to you, Ellie, I had never seen this until this week. And I feel like the thing for me is
Listeners,
feel like
Allie's jaw is on the floor.
I can't
know,
believe
Ellie
this.
is shocked at us.
Mm-hmm.
I
It
had
is
never
a
seen
classic.
It is a classic, and I feel like that's the problem. Is I feel like I already knew everything that happened in it, right?
Mm.
And it felt like it was just like, oh, do you want to, watch a movie and like watch this character die sadly? And I was like, pass, honestly. Like it's funny. Like I told Kelsey, so my wife has also never seen it, and my wife cries at everything as well. And I mentioned to her that I was like, oh yeah, I've been watching, like I had to watch Steel Magnolias for the podcast this week, and she was like, I have never seen that by choice. And I was like, what? She's like, I refuse to watch it because I will just sob the entire time, and that is the only thing she knows about the movie. And I was like, correct.
You will.
You would.
Yeah.
You would do that. So so I had never seen it. And it is, boy, it's I feel like we've been doing a lot of like going back to like early aughts, late 90s. We haven't done a good like through 80s movie in a little bit. This is
80s.
Yes.
This is heavy-handed with the 80s, and it was delightful to just be like, well, wow, what a time to be alive.
All the wedding
Or
outfits.
dead.
So
It's
good.
so much. The hair, the outfits, the like, oh my god, that Easter scene at the end, you're just
So-
like, this is incredible.
The hair
I remember
transformations
having
of
to
all
wear-
of them is impressive.
I remember having to wear those Easter dresses that were so itchy, but I guess he had risen, so that's what we had to do.
If you don't have enough layers, you're not celebrating how he has risen.
Exactly.
Really.
No.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's not enough.
It's never enough.
More lace, more tulle, more layers,
Bigger, everything bigger and poofier.
more volume.
Oh yeah,
All
like my
volume
mom
on
did my
volume.
like flock of seagull, like those like huge bangs. That's what I had.
Uh-huh.
My
Oh
mom
God.
would tease them really big.
I also was just like, oh my God, like the amount of hairspray necessary for all of those hairdos, like
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
that thing is not moving.
No.
That thing is staying in freaking place. I was obsessed with Dolly in this movie because I am always obsessed with Dolly. But like you, Leah, I had literally never seen it. I just watched it today, like right before this episode, which I was saying, like,
I'm so, I cannot believe that you did that. I literally, when I watched this, Ellie, my first question is, I was like, I feel like we need to, like, Allie and I should place bets on, like, the sum total of minutes that you spent sobbing watching this.
Oh,
It was-
I
yeah.
bet it's high.
it was quite high. I actually feel like because it was probably good that I was rushing through this film to watch it for this, because I feel like I almost like just left my body. Like every time it was gonna be like from the beginning, I didn't super know what was gonna happen in this movie, to be honest. I feel like the like social like the context I have for it is like Steel Magnolias is a sad movie. And I'm like, okay, let me watch it and see what happens. From the beginning, when Shelby had that like diabetic sweating situation,
Drink your juice,
I was
Shelby.
like-
Drink your juice.
Drink your juice.
I was like, she's dead.
Juice
So
is
I-
better.
So I feel like I sort of like I shielded my heart from Shelby.
Mm.
I was like, Julia Roberts is doing a great acting job here, but I can't like fully like put myself in
even
this
if you
Shelby.
didn't-
You know what I mean?
Even if you didn't know anything about the movie going in, I feel like you'd watch that scene and be like, Shelby's gonna die.
It's so obvious.
That's this movie. This
It's-
movie's gonna be slowly watching Shelby die. I
Yeah.
feel like the only thing I couldn't tell, because I hadn't seen it yet and I knew she did die, was like, when does she die? What are the circumstances?
There were
of
many
Shelby's
points
death?
in which she could have died, right? So
Yeah.
it was like, all right, we're spoiler alert, everyone, but I feel like this is an old enough movie that it's fine. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
So I did cry. I cried at the end. I cried during it also is so fucking depressing. Like when they take her off life support. I'm like, that's like
Oh God,
that
yeah.
scene. I was just like, what in the fucking world? Like you watch this man sign the thing, you watch him literally push the button. Like her heart stops. Like it's heavy.
It's rough.
It's
rough.
heavy-handed. Like we are watching this woman die. Like it's not just like a doctor comes out and they're like, no. Like we see that shit.
Yeah.
We see it all.
Did you know those were real like nurses and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Really?
I was reading. Listen, I rented this on Amazon Prime, so I had all the little trivia factoids going
Nice.
by, and they're not only real nurses and doctors; they're the real nurses and doctors who took care of the writer's sister when she died young. Who
Yep.
we based this whole story on.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ellie, bring tissues to this episode.
Literally, what in
Jesus.
the world? It's almost like that's the thing. I cry at everything. It's almost too like it almost turns a corner to too sad that I can't cry.
Okay.
It's so you know what I mean? Where you're like,
My emotions have looped back around into full dissociation, and
Yes.
I don't experience emotions anymore
Yeah.
as a defense mechanism against myself.
exactly.
Well done, Ellie. We love that.
Exactly.
Sounds healthy.
And I also was so focused on the gay of it too
True.
that I was like, okay, I'm trying to find the gay, and I was like, Shelby's not gay, so I'm like, click that part of my brain off. So that's where I'm at with my experience. But let's dive in to the
Okay.
gayness of it all. So Allie, I mean, you already sort of kicked us off, but
Yeah. Who
Let's-
should we start with?
I don't know. Like that's what I feel like. Weezer, like it's Weezer. I feel like we have to talk about Weezer.
I mean, part of this is like, can we just get a Weezer movie? Like, I fucking love Weezer. And just like just like an old school butch dyke.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, from the outfits to even like attempting to be more feminine, and she just can't do it.
The ending also just like makes me so pissed off because I'm like, why are you pairing Weezer with this random man?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like-
Owen is so unimportant for any reason to
Yeah.
exist.
He's so useless. Like they literally were just like, oh, let's just throw them off the scent that Weezer's a lesbian. But it almost makes you know she's a lesbian more
Yeah.
because he's the most like not attractive man.
Yeah.
He looks like a flaccid penis to me.
He really
Kinda.
does.
He really does, right?
He really does.
It's the hair. It's the comb over.
Yeah.
The comb over somehow is very like penis
Phallic.
resembling.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it
very
is.
like
In a way
like,
that's hard to explain. Yeah.
Go watch it.
Yeah,
Owen
yeah.
Jenkins, flaccid penis.
flaccid bean. But like so true. But from the second you see her, right, she's like the town like grump, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's
But
like,
rich as hell.
Yeah, right. And that's the thing. Like, what happened to her husbands?
She killed him.
Right? Like that's what I think. I'm like, woman was like, life has been hard, but I'm rich as hell.
Yeah.
And you're like, how did you have 2 husbands and now you have 0?
I'm like, she killed
Yeah.
him or they killed themselves.
Yeah, I think
being
they
with
were like, she hasn't slept with me in 10 years. I'm
Yeah.
done.
I
I
mean,
gotta get out of
and
here.
isn't Weezer's the one who has the quote where she's like, "Men are the most awful thing," right? Like,
Yeah.
doesn't she have that quote where she's like, "They'll ruin your life. Men are terrible."
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's just every time she opens her mouth, it's basically to be like, "Why does everybody think I need a man in my life? I don't need a man in my life. Like, men are terrible. Men are the literal worst thing ever. Who would ever want a man? I'm rich and I don't need men. I'm gonna take up gardening."
Yes. Well, and also she's like, because she's like also the most grumpy bitch ever,
Yeah.
it also adds more to her lesbianism. You hate everyone, right, Weezer? And yet we always find you around these women. Right? Like she's
Yeah.
like, I hate people, but I like all of you girls.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be here and be a bitch to you. Like she's
Yes.
negging them the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, but she will not stand to the second she's around what's her name? Sally
Clary.
Field's husband,
Oh,
Drum.
Drum.
Yeah.
She's like, I could literally kill a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's about
And she has multiple times. Yeah.
Yeah. There's some.
she's also very like anti-church, you know?
Mhm.
In a way that feels like a little pointed for a Southern Belle movie.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not into organized religion.
Right, yeah.
Which is very
I'm
gay.
into tomatoes and ladies, and that's it. Not the church,
When
just
she
the
comes
ladies.
when she comes in the overalls giving out the tomatoes.
It's a whole lot. She's like, I have a giant dog, a garden, and a bunch of female friends. And what else could you want for in life, honestly?
It's just so obvious. I actually looked, like you always have to like every time you do one of these should have been gays, like, is this a movie that we're like sort of diving into the subtext and like nobody's ever thought of this before? Or is this a thing? And like a lot of people not a significant amount of people online are like, Weezer is so fucking gay.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. But my thing with Weezer and Clary, I can
Okay.
appreciate that you think that Clary is dick crazy. And to be fair, she could be bisexual. I'm fine with that. I was just reading so much tension between those two. There's a moment, first of all, they're both rich old women who don't have husbands, right?
Yes.
And there's a moment, I mean, there's many moments. The end was the most like convincing part for me, but there was one part that I really wrote down that was like, oh my God. They're at the salon, and Clary's like, I want to go see a Broadway show. I'm going to take you with me, Weezer. Why does
Yeah.
she decide that like her and Weezer need to go take a girls trip to New York? She doesn't invite any of the other women. They're all in the room. And Weezer's like, I like my place right
it's
here.
always the two of them. That's why,
Mhm.
I mean, honestly, that's why I ship them together so hard. Like, they're always, like, wrapped around each other, like, arms linked. They're always kind of, like,
She's
showing
like,
up
"Here,
places together.
You can hit my girlfriend.
Yes.
I
Slap
offer my
in the
girlfriend
face.
up as a sacrifice." What?
Hit her.
Hit her, Malin. She's into it. Like, yeah, no, I mean, Clary has all these things where she's like, Weezer worships the quicksand I walk on, and like, I love you more than my luggage, Weezer. Like,
Yeah.
they have some sort of bond going on, those two, that like, we just don't know all the details of.
But I
Yeah.
feel that way about my best friend.
But you're also gay.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to fuck my best friend.
Best friend. We just want to clarify.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you are listening.
Ever. I don't want to fuck you.
Honestly valid. But also, I feel like there's two different kinds of lesbian friendships, right? One
Mhm.
like you and your best friend have that I agree is platonic. Like
Ellie
me
and I have.
like me and Leigh have platonic gays. Something
And then there's the Clary and
then
Weezers of the world.
it's like the physicality between like, do you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
like there's a very like they're on the bench together and they're like
Oh,
she's like,
the
this is
scooch
my
over.
bench. Like they're like pushing each other off the bench. Like I feel like Truvy
Yeah.
and Clary have a queer relationship where they're not into each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I can see that.
Where I'm like they get each other, like they understand like the queerness that each other presents, but they're like, I'm not into you. Weezer and Clary just have there's some shit there.
Yeah.
They're too close. They're too close.
They're too close.
They know each other too well too. Like Clary makes some comment about when Weezer buys the racy lingerie for Annelle, first of all, let's mark that down. In the
Yeah,
Weezer
also Weezer, what in
column.
the fucking world?
Okay, Weezer's like, hey, Daryl Hannah, have this hot lingerie, okay? For your husband, of course, but just like, I want to know you're wearing it, and it's for me. And then Clary looks at the note, and she's like, oh, Weezer, I'd recognize your handwriting anywhere. Like, you're like, why do you know her hand? Like,
You just
is
like
there
from all those
anything you
letters
two
she's
don't
been writing her.
know about each other? Like, yeah, I think so. I think there's some steamy, racy letters being passed back and forth that we know nothing about.
I will yield the floor to you, Allie, though. I'm also down to hear more about what you think of Clary.
I just feel like I know this woman, like this like Southern type woman who, I mean, she is always like saying sexy things to the men. Like she says a lot of sexy things to them, and loves them football players.
Yeah,
that is so true. When she's in the locker room,
yeah, I mean she's wet in the locker room. So
also Weezer in that locker room. she's like,
Weezer,
oh my.
Yeah,
like,
Weezer's like, there are so many fucking naked men around me right now, and I am not here for it.
No, Weezer's not here for much.
No,
except for Clary.
That's true. That's true.
I could see it maybe being unrequited. I could give you that.
Mm-hmm.
That Weezer's like secretly pining for Clary, and Clary's like, and that's why like when they're in the locker room, Clary's talking, and she's like, "You're embarrassing yourself." She's like, "I need to get you out of this locker room immediately. I don't feel comfortable with you around all of these penises that you love."
Very possible. Very possible.
Do you also? Because Claire, what else did did Clary have any relationships with men in the movie?
No, but talks about men a lot and like flirts with men a lot. And there's something about like, I don't know, the way she like walks to me that like I'm like, you're walking like that for a man.
I can also see it. I can see it.
Counterpoint, she does at one point say something about being like too colorful for words. She's just a little rainbow Clary.
She's also the one who is like really excited to talk about gay men.
Yes.
That's true. That is true.
But to be fair, straight women love gay men.
Fag hag, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
She could for sure be a fag hag. She's a fag hag for gay men and Weezer.
Like, I feel like I could see her like being completely being in the closet while Weezer's having sex with a woman for the first time, just in case Weezer needs her.
In the closet is such an interesting choice of words for what you just said. I'm just saying.
Yes.
I'm just saying. I just have to put it out there.
so funny. She's like on speed dial. She's like,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Hysterical.
I'll take care of your dog
It's
while
the
you
80s,
go
Ellie.
bang
They
that
didn't
girl.
have speed dial. Not in the not in Chickabiddy
Yeah,
Parish.
if they had speed dial,
It's
then
a
Shelby
rotary
wouldn't have
still.
fucking died. She was so close to calling.
Shelby died because there were too many nines
Yeah,
in
and she's
Jackson's
like,
number.
That's not wrong. Did y'all know Jack Jr.?
For the younger listeners, in the olden days, the phone buttons had to go all the way around, and 9 took a really long time. You had to spin it, and then it would go.
Also took a certain amount of finger strength.
It did,
Yeah, she didn't have it. Wait, what were we gonna say about Jackson Jr.?
Oh, Jack Jr. Was played by a female.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Little trans rep.
Wow.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Jr.
It's probably because a small boy at that age is, like a vaguely reminiscent of like a tornado, I would expect.
But they originally said it was a guy, I think. And then it came out later that actually Jack was Jacqueline. I was like,
wow.
Drama.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also on the IMDb right now, and I actually hate this, but whatever. It says, after a poor take, director Herbert Ross reprimanded Dolly Parton and asked her if she could act. And she said, no, but it's your job to make me look like I can.
There is nothing that woman cannot do on this earth.
To be fair, though, I appreciate that she said that, but Dolly Parton can do no wrong. Like,
can do everything.
Whenever she's acting, she's exactly herself. I believe that woman is just saying the lines as Dolly Parton.
As herself.
And I don't give a fuck
No, she can
She
do
is
everything. If I had to
perfect.
go in for like major heart surgery and Dolly Parton scrubbed in and was like, "Here I am," I'd be like, "Fantastic, I'm in good hands."
Yeah.
Thank you.
She's like, here I come
Here I
again.
It's kind of crazy she doesn't sing
Yes.
I know.
at all.
'Cause- or maybe she had something on the soundtrack, but we don't know. Because I feel like
Mm.
that's like 9 to 5. She like
Yeah.
did the song 9 to 5 for 9 to 5.
I don't think the soundtrack
But I don't-
had a lot of like vocals though.
I think we
did
would
it?
have recognized if Dolly was singing.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like this was very like classic 80s tearjerker movie where it's like the soundtrack is all instrumental.
Instrumental.
Trying to
Yep.
think if there was there a song
No.
in this other than like maybe like
The song,
diegetic
well, and the
music
songs,
playing
the
in
songs
something.
at the wedding.
Right.
Yes,
No, but that's
but
what I mean.
that's-
Like other than like, you know, kind of it's happening in the context of like the scene itself. I don't think they had a lot of like soundtracky like radio hits, you know?
Yeah, when
Yeah, I don't
anybody
think so.
says Steel Magnolias, I think of that red velvet armadillo cake immediately.
Yes. I love a good piece of ass.
You right?
Literally, what a good line.
Such a good line.
Such a good line.
I mean, what was the pig from hell? That's a great one from Weezer. Colin
Mhm.
Drum. A pig from hell. What Weezer's that dirty minds are a terrible thing to waste.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah, Weezer is like, Weezer's just so fucking gay. Like, she's just so gay. It's unreal.
Let's take a quick break, hear from some sponsors. We will be right back to talk more about who's the gayest in Steel Magnolias. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And as we head into Thanksgiving time, I want to start by thanking my wife, Kelsey, who has not only listened to just about every episode of this podcast for 8 seasons now, but who also is the only reason I'm able to make time to record it every week. She takes the kids, gets them dinner, and gets them ready for bed just so that Ellie and I can come on and yell about gay things into each other's faces for an hour. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people you're grateful for in your life, including yourself. I've been in therapy for a long time now, and one thing that's so important about therapy is how it teaches you to be more intentional. And being intentional about gratitude and how to show that to the people you appreciate is just one of the many benefits that I've gotten from therapy over the years. If you've been thinking of starting therapy, consider giving BetterHelp a try. I know how hard it can be to find time for regular therapy, and BetterHelp is designed to be flexible and convenient for your schedule. You can fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you want to start being more intentional about gratitude in your life, visit betterhelp.com/Lez Hang Out today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Lez Hang Out.
Let's hang out.
For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Baking Hershey's Kisses Peanut Butter Blossoms is the perfect way to celebrate the holiday season with friends and family. With their classic, rich, creamy milk chocolate taste, there's no better way to heartwarm the holidays than by baking with Kisses chocolates. Find Hershey's Kisses holiday chocolates at your favorite retailer.
Speaking of Dolly, I would like to discuss Truvy.
Yes.
I can't tell if it's
Truvy.
just because, and I'm scared to say this, but I just super think that Dolly Parton's queer. Sorry, Dolly. Don't come for us.
Yeah.
But you're queer, and it's okay. So everything.
Ellie, you know what happened last time we
yeah,
did
literally
this?
we did.
What
we did an
happened?
episode-
My whole house lost
Yeah.
power like 3 times.
That's why I was like, I'm scared to do this. When we did 9 to 5, like we just should have been
Yeah.
gay on the movie 9 to 5. I was like talking about how Dolly Parton was gay, and literally like the second I said it, Leigh lost power.
I lost power, and then it briefly came back, and then we started again, and we lost power again, and then I finished recording
And it
from
came right
my
back on.
phone with a candle in the dark. It
So yeah,
was wild.
Dolly likes to come for us whenever I out her. I'm sorry, Dolly, but she just gives
It's
such
not our fault, to
she
be
gives
fair.
such bisexual energy. Like she's always like so touchy with all the other women.
Mhm.
That one scene where they all are putting their hands on top of each other,
I know.
she started it.
Yes, she did. And just the
She
way
really did.
she like babies Anel, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
Like-
she's like, I'm your fairy gay mother. I'm gonna take you under my wing.
Yes.
The whole thing with Annelle that she's like, I don't care that you have a past. Like I feel like that's a very like, I don't care what you did in your past, honey. Like, I'm taking care of you now. Like,
Yeah.
I know you have gay trauma and it's fine.
But Truby's husband does have clinical depression. Do they ever like? I don't think they ever like really say that. I think they just kind of make him look like he's a piece of shit, which he is kind of a piece of
Yes.
shit. But I'm like, no, this man's like severely mentally ill.
Yes.
Well, but the other thing is like, this is why I think in my synopsis is very much like, nobody in this movie is like really doing much to sell us on the idea of like men. Like,
Oh yeah.
at best, they're kind of like half-heartedly into men. And at the most common, they're sort of like, my man's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shucks. And you're like, what? Like, Spud is just sad.
literal
I'm
potato.
sad for Truvy.
Yeah. I'm sad for Truby. I'm sad for Spud.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
He
I'm
can't-
sad for Spud. I'm sadder for Truvy because I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
Truvy is just being like, please notice me. You're married to fucking Dolly Parton. And she's like, hey, hello. And he's like, go away. I just want to watch TV and ignore you. And like, I don't want to do anything with you. And I have nothing to say to you. And I have no interest in sharing my feelings or life with you. And she's like, do you want to tell me I'm pretty? Maybe?
Go
And
to
he's
the
like, "No."
carnival with me.
I
Go to the
know.
carnival
He wanted
with
to go to the
me.
fireworks
Go to a
with
wedding
her.
with me. Get a job, Spud. And he's like, I don't know. And then he's like, I guess the nicest thing I can say is like, boy, it'd be sad if you died. And
That-
she's like
she
tears
beams.
dripping down her
She
face, just being like,
beams.
he
She's
does
like,
care.
yeah, finally
Yeah.
he said it. He likes me better alive than dead.
Yes, and I'm like, Truvy, the bar is so far below the ground that, like, you have really lost track of this here. Like, you can do better, sweetie. You can do better.
So much better.
It's sad.
Dolly can do so much better. But I do feel you, Allie. Like, I feel like they don't die. Like, it was too 80s
Oh,
that they
yes,
don't just
yeah.
like super say
Yeah.
that this man has clinical depression, and like
Yeah.
that's what we're dealing with here. It
Ye-
definitely makes so much. It just makes it look like Truvy has a horrible husband.
Yes.
That she
Now,
just
who
chose- yeah.
really has a horrible husband is Anel.
Yes.
Yeah, Sammy kind of sucks. I mean, to be
Sucks.
fair, Anel kind of sucks at that point too, but Sammy kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And yet, I feel like they don't like ever address it. Like the final scene of the movie is like her being like, put on this suit, and he's like, I hate you. I'm not a 5-year-old. And then it's like, well, our baby's here.
Yeah.
No, but that's because this is like the ultimate bearding relationship as depicted in film,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, like
She's
it's
like,
we
oh,
met.
a convenient man who
yeah,
will
we
put
met
up with this.
one time because I got food at a wedding,
Yeah.
and
Yes,
now I'm having your
right?
baby.
You're the first single man I've talked to in Chickapin Parish, and therefore I will marry you.
But also, who eats food with gloves?
Mm.
I didn't even
Right.
notice that she did that.
Yeah. Drives me a little bit crazy. Like, take
It's
your
not-
gloves off, Anel.
Oh my god, Anel has a lot of strange idiosyncrasies for sure.
Yes. sure.
Like I said, the constant praying, the constant church thing. Like there's a whole thing with Truvy and Anel, right? The like, it's maybe like I think it's like the second time jump or like one of the first
Yeah.
when they're giving out the like shrimp. It must be the carnival.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, what a glow up. She like changes her whole hair. I'm like, all right,
Yes,
Dolly really
Trudy.
fixed her up. But then there's a whole scene with them where she's like, Annette really was a big hoe.
Yeah.
She was hoeing it up.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I have to repent. So I also feel like that's more than like
Yeah.
just men.
Oh, yeah.
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 Like it feels
Anel
very much like she
Anel
was
is
like, I
firmly
slept.
holding the closet door shut again.
Yeah, she's like, I
"Look,
slept with
here
a
we
few
go."
women and it got a little too crazy. And I was like, please, God, save me.
I don't even think
Yeah.
Anel is bi. Like, I think Anel is a lesbian.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
'Cause-
Anel's repressing hard.
Hard.
Yeah, she's like, whenever I
pretty
can't make
rough.
sense of anything, I just go to the Lord and I pray the gay away.
Just push it down. I take my feelings, Malin, and I shove them so far down there that you'll never see them again. And that's what I do. It's working great. Ask
Exactly.
Sammy.
You're like, Spud should try it.
Yeah. But it's so true though, right? Because she's just like, here is the first man I've talked to. He seems fine. My hoe era was, frowned upon, and so I have just shut myself back in the closet, and I will not touch this man, first of all.
Do they
No
make
touching-
it? Do they make
no
it
touching
clear that
Sammy.
they don't have sex? I couldn't quite tell.
Yes.
Well, I think she definitely won't until they're married.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna be half-hearted at best because that girl's a dyke.
Which you can become a virgin again, because I learned that in Christian campaigners in high school.
What did they? Wait, I need to hear this story. What did they say to you?
So Kathy, who went to Duke University Divinity School, told me I could just write. I was like, but I've already had like a lot of sex. And she's like, okay, you just need to write down that you from this day forward you'll be saving yourself for your husband, and put that in a box and then give it to him on your wedding night, and basically you're a virgin again.
So you can be as slutty as you want as long as you write a letter.
Yeah, you just have to
And then because God works miracles.
yeah.
You
That's
open
what
the
she
box
said.
Wow.
and your hymen is in there.
Which I
Ta-da-da.
mean,
I know it's not accurate.
you could
but-
lose it horseback riding.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
but that would be the Christian magic.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
start
It's
writing a letter
intact.
every day and then get into bed every night and be like, I'm pure again.
Every single night
Every
you just write a new
single
letter.
I'm gonna gift Kelsey with a little box with a handwritten letter.
Oh.
To be fairly, I think you are actually technically still a virgin. So
Keep the spice alive.
Oh, gold
Excuse
star, Leigh?
you. Listen, we don't go in for that thing around here, okay? But, I mean, I have had no penis near me, let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But we know it's a gross garbage transphobic thing anyways. Don't come after us, listeners. We know,
I'm just saying
okay?
for the Christians.
For the Christians out there, I'm pure as
for the Christians
as
out there,
untouched
you're
snow.
so pure. So pure.
Haven't even done a good Mormon soak over here, you know? Listen.
Exactly. Dead.
That's so disturbing.
Yes, but I do agree. Now closeted as hell. Literally is like, I guess I'll have sex with my husband like once or twice just to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Otherwise, like,
And you know she's not wearing that fucking lingerie for him when she does it either.
Mm-mm.
no, she was so appalled by that.
Yeah.
She was like, I will not even get close to naked for this man. But yes, to
She
be
was like,
fair-
I want to see this on Truby.
Yeah.
Mhm. And don't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, and I do too.
Yes. And we agree.
Anel's having sex with Sammy through a fucking sheet, and she's like, maybe I'll just re-gift this to Truvy. And,
To be
see
fair,
what
like
happens.
Dolly Parton, always beautiful, but like you're like in this movie, she's pretty hot.
She's looking good. She's
Oh
looking
my
good in
goodness.
this.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Ooh.
okay, Dolly,
Yeah.
I'm here for it. My favorite line that she says is, "There's no such thing as natural beauty." I was like, oh shit, you cannot make this movie today. People
Well,
would
I
be
did
like,
pageant, so that's true.
Oh my god! Wait, tell us about your pageants.
Oh, yeah.
What was the craziest pageant story you have?
Well, for one of my first pageants, so I was a special ed kid and really dyslexic. And as soon as my parents found out I was dyslexic, they put me in beauty pageants. I think they were like, she
Yeah,
can't
that's
read.
the
She has to-
natural.
She has to have
natural
something.
thing.
We
Yeah.
gotta give her
Yeah.
something.
She can't read. She's kind of cute though. And they had my mama's best friend / hairdresser, Woody, who would dress up and do drag shows in our living room, would do my hair and makeup. But like for like that first year of pageants, like I looked like a tiny drag queen. Like he literally did my hair and makeup like a drag queen. And like I had on like this adult Reba wig before
Oh my god!
I was 8 years old, and this Reba wig, I have on essentially drag makeup. And so I asked, they said, what do you want to do for your talent? And I said, I would really like to sing. And Woody said, I can't teach singing. I can only teach lip syncing.
Oh my god, stop.
So I did a lip sync to Fancy
No.
Don't Let Me Down by Reba and Reba Drag.
So you did drag.
Yeah,
Just a drag.
I
Just a straight up
I
drag
just did
show.
a straight up drag show for
Straight
like
up drag. Classic.
How
like-
old were you? Also,
8 years old.
that is so
And-
funny.
The whole song though, like that.
Please tell me there's a
song-
home video. There is a VHS tape somewhere. With
There
this
is
on
a
it.
VHS.
I'm praying. I'm praying so hard.
I also have a picture of it I can send you guys.
Oh my
um,
gosh. Yes.
But the whole song is about a mother convincing her daughter to become a
Yeah.
prostitute to save
Yeah.
herself.
Here's your
And-
one chance,
yeah,
Fancy.
Fancy
Don't
don't-
let me down.
And I was
Come
doing all these
on.
like sexy moves he taught me, and oh my god,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
That is so funny. Also, like, do you feel like that's your gay root?
Maybe I reconnected
show
with
or
him this
Reba?
past year.
Yeah, all of it. All of that
All
drag.
of it.
That
All
drag
of it.
queen.
Yeah, I reconnected with Woody this past year, and like I hadn't seen him since I was a kid.
Amazing.
Oh, I mean, this is really fucked up. Like my parents were in the middle of a divorce, and my dad tried to say that my mom was fucking Woody, and Woody is the most flamboyant gay man ever. Like my mom and Woody would do like drag and like dress. My mom would be Cher, Woody would be Madonna, and my dad brought in like a life-size version cardboard cutout of my mom as Cher, and was like, she can't have my children. She thinks she's Cher, and she's fucking Woody. And after that, it ruined Mama and Woody's friendship because my mama and daddy got back together, and Woody was like, Woody basically had to out himself.
Oh my god.
Um,
Which, like, also,
and like,
also the fact that he had to out himself when he was literally doing drag shows with your mom. Like, what in the world?
I know. Well, I guess he had to out himself on the stand in front of the judge. Anybody that knew him knew he was gay.
Woody, poor Woody.
I know.
Damn.
But Woody's doing good. He lives in Beaufort, North Carolina at the beach, still doing hair.
Wow. Woody is the true V of your time. Woody's your true V.
My mama won't listen to this, so I can say it. But when we went and saw Woody at the beach, and my mama and Woody had not talked since that trial.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we went and like reconnected, and my mom's gone through a lot of health stuff. And it was just me and Woody by ourselves walking. And he goes, "How is your mama? She looks horrible." I was like,
that's the gayest fucking thing
holy
to say.
shit, you catty
That
bitch.
is the perfect way to handle that.
How is she? She looks like shit.
Bless her heart. Oh God, that's so bad. That's so funny.
Yeah. I know. I was like, okay, I won't tell her that.
You're like, yeah, Woody's doing great. Like, wants to know says you're looking awesome.
Yeah.
Well, he did say in front of her, he was like, "Honey, I wish you would have caught in here a few days earlier and had more time. I could have fixed your hair."
Oh my
Woody.
God. Wow, Woody is really giving Truvy so hard.
Woody is Truvy. That is
I'm
so
obsessed
true.
with that. I'm so glad that we got to hear that story. I also feel like, okay, back to Truvy quickly.
Back to Truvy quickly. You have to keep me on track.
It. Honestly, I'm very happy we took that segue. I feel like her whole I feel like she built a business around wanting to be around other women.
Yeah.
She's like, my life's calling is to take care of other women and make sure there's also, it's like basically just her and Anel. And there are always like 10 people in the booking salon. Like, they're not getting their hair done you do not get your hair done every single day.
No.
You just go there to hang out.
Like they constantly are just like, I'm here again.
Weezer's there all the time, and she like specifically says she doesn't get anything done, right? Like, doesn't she like not let them do her hair or something?
Yeah, but also she lets her wax.
Well,
her
sure,
lip.
they wax the mustache, but I mean, come on.
Yeah,
she's a lady.
Or does she wax it?
I think she waxed it because she's like she takes it off and she's screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh
Weezer's just there to hang out with the gals.
They're just there for the vibes. Okay, so we think Malin just straight through and through.
Yeah.
Right? But
what a great Southern name.
Malin.
Yeah, I feel
Malin.
like Malin
It's
is
so
another
good.
one where I'm like, you should be gay because your husband.
I just feel like she hates her husband, but I feel like she's like one of those straight women who's like, I would want to be gay. Like, I am so straight and I want to kill my husband. And I wish
You know
I
what
wish
else?
so much that I did not like men. But like,
You know what I
she's
could
so
see?
straight, she has to like men.
That is one take. The other take I could see for Malin is because I do think Shelby's pretty gay, and I could see Malin being the kind of Southern mom who would be like, now everybody has those feelings for their friends, Shelby, and like you just have to turn them off, and we all just marry a man even though we don't want to and we don't like him, but that's just what you do because you can't marry your best friend no matter how much you might want to. That's not what Jesus wants for our lives, right? Like I could see her going that kind of route as well. It's hard to say. It's hard to say
just because she hates her husband so much.
Yes, she does. She really does.
I mean, I also just don't know how, like, I think Malin's a little oblivious. I don't know that she really knows lesbians exist.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
Like, the concept is not clear enough to her for me to see which way she's going to land, you know?
Because it's all,
Like, I didn't know lesbians were real when I was a kid. Like, I
They
knew
were
gay
just
men
in books
existed.
and movies like unicorns, you know? Who knows?
Yeah, when was the first time you saw a real life lesbian?
Oh, a real life one.
Or the first time you noticed you were like, oh, these exist.
Like Ellen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was like when Ellen came out. But even then I thought you had to like have short hair and be more butch. Like, so for me, for years, I was like, I can't be gay because like I like to like wear lipstick and have long hair. And so I really just did not think it was possible.
I I love the comp het, the kind of like elder millennial level of comp het, where it's like we literally were at the point where you could just be like, I mean, short hair wouldn't suit me. I can't be a dyke.
Yeah. I tried so many of those apps with different trying to find my butch hairstyle because I was I wanted to be able to go to lesbian bars and everyone know I was a lesbian.
Yeah.
And I felt like it wasn't obvious.
I feel you so hard. It's never obvious with me, but it's just it's not gonna be in the cards. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I can't cut it off. But
listen,
okay, let's talk. Let's talk quick. Sorry,
just for the younger gays out there who are you just don't understand how good you have it now, where you're like, which label fits me today? Which flag do I most associate with? Here's all these different things. And for us, it was do you want short hair? Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Different times.
Your only option is to chop all your hair off.
Which
Shelby.
Can we segue into Shelby with that? Thank you.
Which Shelby. As much as I'm I know the actual thing is just she doesn't want to deal with her hair, sure. But
listen, babies are grabby, okay?
My
mom also had that exact haircut when we were younger. No, she literally cut off all her hair because my sister was a nightmare.
Yeah,
When did your mom come out?
Honestly, the timing on that, impeccable. Impeccable. You know what? Maybe she's gonna pull a Weezer. She's woman's still in the closet.
Oh my god,
so
I
don't
would
know.
love that for your mom. What a journey that would be.
My mom was
That'd
a
be
late in
so
life
fun.
lesbian. She'd be so happy. She is the kind of person who literally says, she's
Auntie Meg would lose her shit.
I have a lesbian aunt. So it's to have multiple gays in the
that.
family is it's a difficult thing. Everyone has their thing. My mom always says, she's like, I just want there to be a bar or a club for women who love women who aren't lesbians. So you know what? I'm rethinking everything. I have to sit my mother down. Mom, I love you. If you're gay, I'll support you.
We'll love you. Oh my gosh, we're so ready. We're ready anytime.
If you come out, this is it. We said it here first. But let's dive into the haircut. What do you think about her reaction to seeing herself like that? How do we feel about that?
Gay. She gay.
Gay.
Great
Gay?
answer.
Yeah.
No, but
I feel like she sees it and she's like, fuck, I'm gay.
yeah. She is viscerally crying
Yeah.
when she sees her short haircut. I don't feel like that's a straight reaction.
It's not only not a straight reaction, I feel like, here's the thing. I think Weezer's the gayest thing in this movie. I think Shelby has the most relatable and really uplifting, I mean, outside of the dying, but before that, really uplifting gay storyline in terms of the actual plot surrounding it.
Yeah.
And I think the haircut is one big part of that. And it's less about the haircut and it's more about Malin's reaction to the haircut.
You think she's upset because her mother is looking at her oh shit, my daughter's gay.
I think she doesn't know how Malin's gonna react.
No.
And then the fact that Malin is you look beautiful. And she's just my mama loves me, even if I'm a giant dyke. There's just, I feel like it's a really beautiful message for a movie like this to have, kind of
my mama, you know what?
really
That's
wrapped
my name. My mama loves me, even though I'm a giant.
That's your new
Steel Magnolias
Instagram
in a nutshell,
fucking
okay?
bio.
Yeah.
That should have been my gay synopsis for
My
this
mama
movie,
loves me because I'm
honestly.
a giant dyke. My mama will still give me a kidney even though I'm a gay bitch.
Yes! That's what I'm saying, though. Listen, okay, let's just take Shelby's whole story, right? Shelby is I'm engaged to a man and I told him I will not marry him. Okay? First thing we learn about Shelby is she does not want to marry Jackson. Okay? because of the children. Okay, sure, fine. She does not want to marry this man. That's thing one we learn about Shelby. Then Shelby's storyline becomes, Mama, I'm in a relationship where we just can't have children, but I really want to.
But I could adopt.
And we could just adopt, and why can't you just be happy for me to want to have a family? Why can't you just accept my family, Mama? Why don't you want to be happy with me? Don't you want grandchildren? Okay?
And she also says they won't let someone like me adopt.
Yes! Yes, she's the judge won't give people like me a baby, so we have to find our own way to make a baby. Now I'm pregnant. and you're not happy for me. Why aren't you happy for her, Malin? Why aren't you happy for her?
I mean, to be fair, we know why she's not happy for her because
no, don't ruin my.
She's got a crystal fucking ball.
Don't throw off my train here that I'm on, Ellie. I have a whole story.
Yes, I like
okay?
this. I like this alternate universe.
I'm just saying, like, how relatable is that story of being like, all I want is your acceptance and approval of the fact that, like, we are making babies somehow in this weird, fucked up world that we live in. And, like, I'm finding a way to make a family, and can't you be happy for me? And the mom who's like, I just don't think this is appropriate. Sound familiar, gays? I don't know if this rings a bell, okay? And then you have finally, like, Malin joins P-Flag, and then Shelby gets a short haircut, and she's like, you look beautiful, honey. And then she sobs. Like, I'm just saying, I think it's a really tender moment.
I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah. One of my favorite Shelby lines that always makes me cry when she talks about wanting a baby, when she tells Malin, I would rather have 30 minutes of wonderful than a lifetime of nothing special.
Yes.
I know.
I mean, sobbing,
Rough.
but also then
Hard.
she dies young, which honestly is the most lesbian thing you can do in a movie. Case closed.
This is bury your gays.
This is bury your gays.
Yeah.
I rest my case. Okay.
But that line does.
But
rip.
that line could, it can be about the kids, but it could be about some other things too.
Yeah. It could. I'd rather be gay for 30 minutes than in a compat scenario.
You hear that, Anel? You hear what she said there?
Yeah, I'd rather be gay for 30 minutes than whatever this church situation
Get out
is.
of the closet.
Oh, God.
Ugh.
All right. Anyone else in this film that we're like, they're gay? We hit them all, right? We hit all the main people.
Oh yeah, we got all
what
the
about
main
Aunt
people.
Fern? What did you have to say about Aunt Fern?
I said Aunt Fern is Pan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fern will fuck anything that walks. Like, I'm
That's
serious.
I see it. Wait, Fern's one who made the cake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want Aunt
Also-
Fern making like a full naked lady cake for someone. She's just like beautiful.
Oh, Fern will and
yeah.
has.
The detailing on the nipples, exquisite. Is
Yeah.
She literally is baking the cake with a nude model in front of her.
yes, yes. Oh my god, I love that.
Oh yeah, Fern.
It's Truvy.
Yes, honestly, give me a cake of Truvy. I will eat that. Actually, I'd probably
for
just
lunch,
keep it.
Ellie? You'd eat it
I
for
will
lunch?
eat that girl for lunch.
Okay, great.
I will eat that Truvy for lunch. So good. Honestly, in any form, Dolly Parton.
Incredible.
Obsessed.
I
Okay,
know.
should we do some ships real quick?
Yes, let's go for it.
Who are Allie, if you had to ship anyone in this movie, who would be your top ship?
Well, I totally get what y'all are saying about Weezer and Clary.
Mhm.
So I think, I would want that.
Yeah.
Hot.
But also Truvy and Anel.
Yep.
Okay.
Possibly Shelby and Truvy.
Ooh.
We didn't
Hot.
get to
What about
dive.
Shelby and Anel too? That could work.
I know, Shelby and Anel would be
Yeah.
good too.
Okay.
There's so many
Who would be your top? You think?
Who's the
Weezer
number
and
one
Clary?
choice?
I think it would be Weezer and
Okay.
Clary.
What would be your ship name for them?
Wee
Wee
wee.
wee.
Wee
Wee wee. I like that.
I love it. I love it so much.
much.
I was thinking Wheezy also.
Wheezy, but wee wee is so
Oh.
fun to say though.
Wee wee.
Wee.
Wee wee.
Who else did we say? We said Truvy.
I think Trivia and Anel, like
Anel.
that's so obvious because it's so like older gay taking a little baby gay under the wing, and then like some weird
Sure.
shit happens late at night at the salon. Like that could happen.
Yeah, Spud's out on an oil rig.
Yeah,
you
Spud
know.
doesn't exist. Like
Sammy
this is-
won't pray with
This is
Anel
during
enough.
this is during her hoe phase. I think is when they got together.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Truebell.
Yes.
Love it. Love
Great,
Truvell.
Great.
What about you, Leigh?
Okay, who did we just say? I guess I'll have to go with I'm gonna go Shelby and Anel. I think that could work, and then you could go Shellbell.
Their names work so well
Ooh,
together because
cute.
they're all
They
Southern.
really do. It's all those other names, man.
I know
Mhm.
because they already like when you're trying to do a ship name with like people who have very small names, like
Yeah.
every person in this has like the lengthiest.
Yeah.
It's like many different kinds of syllables and
Yep.
vowel sounds. It's perfect.
Amazing.
All right, you ready for our Q and Gay? We're gonna ask you some multiple choice questions. Here we go.
Q and gay.
Question number 1. What would have been your 80s wedding color? A, pink, B, lime green, C, baby blue, or D, Easter yellow?
Baby blue.
Good choice.
Okay, question 2. Who is the most forgettable man in the film? Out of A, Jackson, B, Drum, C, Spud, or D, Owen?
Jackson.
He really is.
He
We
really
literally
is.
didn't. As we asked that question,
Yeah.
I was like, we did not say a word about that man.
No.
Nope.
He might as well not be there.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, but we just don't care about you, Dylan
Mm-mm.
McDermott. I also was like trying to think of like Dylan McDermott has been in like a shit ton of American Horror Stories, right? I was like, this man
Yeah.
is like something scary, and then I was like, yes, American Horror Story.
Mhm.
But the scariest thing is how forgettable he is in this film. Question number 3. Pick your poison. A, cherry Coke. B, pork and beans. C, low country boil. Or D, cuppa cake.
Oh, it's the first one. What was the first? Cherry Coke.
Cherry Coke.
Mm-hmm.
The best cherry Coke
Cherry Coke.
you'll ever have. Yeah. Can't go wrong. Question 4. What would you most bring back from the 80s? A, the hair, B, the clothes, or C, the music?
Clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just need a little more neon in our life.
I agree.
We've become way too boring. Stop with the neutral colors. Bullshit.
Everything is like, okay, do you know like the sad beige children thing? Yeah. Ellie, do you know this?
No.
Oh, look, okay, listen. If you've never looked up sad beige children on TikTok, like, just go look up sad beige children. But, like, it's the whole aesthetic, this whole kind of, like, boho aesthetic where everything is, like, colors of sand, vaguely, right? And, like, people are very into it for how they dress their kids. But that's just, like, the general color palette of life these days. And I think it's true. We could just really spice it up a bit.
Let's spice it up. I agree.
Yeah.
All right, question number 5. Who's the gayest? A, Anel, B, Truvy, C, Clary, or D, Weezer?
Weezer.
The obvious. Like,
Yeah.
Weezer.
The obvious answer.
Weezer.
But there's no wrong
Weezer.
answers because Steel Magnolias should have been gay.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Ali, for hanging out with us. Can you tell our listeners where they can find you on social media and if you have any shows coming up?
Yes. You can find me on social media at Ali Clayton Comedy. Well, the shows I have, I don't know if this will be out.
Yeah, they might not be.
Yeah. I have a podcast, Y'all Gang. Follow it at Y'all Gay Pod. And I have a new album that just dropped called Country Queer.
Incredible.
Thank you so much, Ali. It's so fun.
Thank y'all. Thanks for having me. I'm so glad I chose Steel Magnolias so that y'all watched it.
We could both watch it and get sad.
Let me hear you say hip, 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 well, yeah.
We love hearing from all of you. We love continuing to build this community, and we just want to shout out some of our favorite things every episode. Starting with, listen, we had a lot of responses to things having to do with our Mad Max Fury Road episode last week. I want to shout out my good personal friend Nicole, who responded to us on Instagram with, I love this sentiment. I really think we should give all these people free plots of land in Florida and then chisel that motherfucker off from the rest of us and let it drift off into the ocean, which,
Honestly,
yes, co-signed. We co-signed this plan, Nicole. We're on board.
also, like, that's such beautiful poetry, Nicole, you know?
It
Like,
is. It
the
really is.
the words just feel chisel that motherfucker off. You know what I mean? Like, it rolls right off the tongue, you know?
It does. It's smooth.
But yes, this was in response to, we had a million comments on Mad Max Fury Road. Our Facebook is literally insane. We've talked about this before. Somebody asked us to moderate it better. Like, we are doing our best. Leigh is like trying to sift through all this shit. But we did want to shout out a few funny comments that people posted. One really got me. Just what Fury Road needed. More scissoring.
So true.
The tagline. And then there was another exchange because Leigh, you know, loves to clap back at these people. He changed his tune and said, you know what? Not gonna lie, I can't stay this theatrically huffy over escape fiction for very long at all. A gay Furiosa stealing a harem does sound hot. You simply cannot have a pulse and begrudge anyone their Charlize Theron fantasies. And that's all we're trying to say, Japhestus.
Yeah.
This man's name is Japhestus.
Listen, we're just gonna leave it there. Here's the thing. I was gonna say, like, dear gays, if you know any of you still on Facebook, please have them interact with our posts. Because the problem is the only people who interact with our posts on Facebook are angry straight people. And so Facebook has really latched on to, like, that's who loves your posts. Angry straights who want to come on and yell hate crimes at you. And I think the problem is, are there still gay people on Facebook? Is anyone still on there? If so, interact with our posts, y'all. Save us. Save me.
Help.
We are not making enough sense from this interaction for it to be worth the cesspool that I have to wade in every time we post anything on there. It's a mess. Anyways.
It is.
As always, we want to thank our lesbian Jesus patrons, Mark Foster,
Lizette Stye,
Adi Benitez,
Sophia Phillips,
and Armani Gucci,
and our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen,
and Andrea Doucette. Thank you all so much. We could not keep making this podcast without the support of you and all of our patrons.
Remember, you can find us on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at Lez Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at lezhangoutpod@gmail.com.
You can check out our website at lezhangoutpod.com.
Whatever app you use to listen to podcasts, make sure that you subscribe. That way you'll get new episodes as soon as they go up every week.
We're also posting videos on our YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/lezhangoutpod to catch them.
Lez Hang Out is an independently produced show. It's hosted by us. Our audio production is done by Ellie. Our production assistant is Krista Murison, and various other podcasting shenanigans are done by me.
If you want to support the podcast, the easiest way is to rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast. We'd love hearing what you have to say.
If you want to join our Patreon, you get access to our Discord chat. You get access to our bonus Patreon episodes. You get access to so much fun stuff. And you help us keep making the show. You can do that at bit.ly/lezpatreon.
If you want to get some Lez Hang Out merch, we have a new merch store at bit.ly/lezmerch. It is directly associated with our website. We're sort of migrating away from an external website with TeePublic. But we have all kinds of designs up on there. So if you want to get your Lez Hang Out merch, you can get that at bit.ly/lezmerch.
And we have so many new cool things that we didn't have before, like hats. We have dad hats, and we have snapbacks, and we have beanies, and we even have like a cute little cup for your like iced coffee that says lesbian, lesbian, lesbian on it. So like, I'm just saying,
I'm here
there's
for
new
that.
options. Remember, we also have a queer production company making queer podcast musicals with guaranteed happy endings. You can find everywhere at Dollar Bean Prod.
Or at our website, dollarbeanproductions.com.
You can listen to all of the episodes of our first show, The Flame, on any podcasting app, as well as the full first run of Journey to the Heart up everywhere. And we are currently in our second run of Journey to the Heart, anywhere you find podcasts.
And if you want to help support us in making more musicals, you can join our Patreon at bit.ly/dollarbeanpatreon.
If you want to follow us individually, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LSH Foster.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Ellie Brigida. With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Leigh.
And
let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Just keep it simple.
I'm making the promo.
Just keep it simple. Just say, hey, we're the Brav Bros. Two guys that talk about Bravo.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're the Brav Bros.
No.
Oh.
Dude, stop with the voice. Just keep it simple.
I've seen promos on TV, dude. This is how you get the fans engaged. This is how you get listeners. We're trying to get listeners here. If we just say, oh, we're two dudes that talk about Bravo, people are going to get tired of it already. We need some oomph.
All right, then fine. Let's try to do it with your voice.
Brav Bros.
Good job.